for you, Jeff. Butch Cassidy was in this prison. So Wyoming, Laramie, Wyoming. Prison. Territorial prison when it was still a territory. Just give you a glimpse of it. If you want to read anything, you'll have to pause if you're interested. I just know with your Civil War inklings, this of course happened during the Civil War, but not involved because it was in Utah and Wyoming. Oh yeah, this is all the stuff, books and movie and media based on Butch Cassidy. I think you would enjoy it here. You could see what's all going on. They're kind of like this part with the dynamite.
Their leader, Butch Cassidy, was a charismatic, rebellious banking framework. The Butch robbery is classic Butch Cassidy. It's what made Butch a rock star. He became a national celebrity. But the free-wheeling world of Butch Cassidy and his sidekick, Rudy Eastman, the fast gun known as the Sundance Kid, was based on a frontier worker, which rapidly fading in the middle.
Some nice Colt 45s with some silver dollars from the time. This tells the story of how and why he wound up at this place. This is the prison, but I've got pictures of it that I took, so I'll include those in this video. Imagine being in those handcuffs. There's his mug shot. Colt 44-40C pistol, 4440. Not sure I know much about those. That's kind of cool. Those are replicas though, that's still pretty cool. Here's a nice lever action and some rustling tools. Again, you'd have to pause these to read them if you cared to. This tells a little bit about Butch's family history. age 13. So his name was Robert Leroy Parker. And these were his parents. They were Mormons. There's the Book of Mormon right there. And then he was born in Utah. And then changed his name to Cassidy after he learned how to rustle from. That was kind of interesting. And this is the beginning where I showed you. Here's where they bunked in this two guys in this little tiny cell. That's the air vent. Maybe some air up there. Comfortable beds. Let's see what's over here. There's Lori. Oh, this is just something else. We don't need to worry about that. You can kind of see the upstairs and downstairs. This must be their block where they had all the solitary confinement. You can kind of see what it looked like. Yep, that was Lori flushing the toilet. They have a modern toilet here too for us people who are visiting. Figure I'll show you. Ooh. This must be like a solitary confinement kind of cell. Yucky. Really small areas. Look at what they get for air. Of course, they didn't have electricity in here. Here, Jeff. There's the urinal that they had, and there's the pooper. Right there. The baths. So you can kind of see that. Here's the laundry facility. I guess they had a tailor or something. Irony. Look at that boiler for the hot water. Cool. I guess this is some of the medical infirmary kind of cell stuff. There's if you need your tooth pulled. There's your dentist chair. Drugs. There's your wheelchair. Your beds. Cool. Here's where they would get their mug shot, so there's the camera. How they got the intake facility, I guess they call this. You can see, I think we'll be able to get some looks at some of these other buildings and such. Through here, just look through the courtyard, I guess. It's kind of cool. There's the warden's area. You can kind of see the warden's office. I have to shoot, unfortunately, through this glass. It's kind of neat, though. There's a pronghorn, roll-top desk, muley buck. That's a nice buck. There are some feet. Here we go. Here is their kitchening facility. I like the stove. That'd be cool to cook on that. Fake ham. Jeff, I think you might enjoy this little part of the exhibits. We got, what do we have here? Winchester Model 1984. Good old liver actions. Let's see what else they got. So they got, these are all Winchesters of various models and types. Kind of like that feature. Nothing fancy, but they're kind of cool. Let's see what we got here. Ooh, that's what I was hoping to see. These are all Winchesters again. Ooh, this is fancy. Well, it's got the octagonal barrel like some of the Henry rifles. But these are all Winchesters. Here's one with the cool looping handle. It's nice. That's a nice gun. Look at the, I don't know how well you can see. That looks good. Ooh, now we're getting fancy. Again, all Winchesters, but these are getting fancier and fancier. Oh, I really like that inlay. Some nice ones. I just wondered about those octagonal barrels or hexagonal, I'm not sure what they are. Kind of nice. Look at that. I like that gun. That's kind of cool. Ooh. That's neat too. I like that. Neat. And down here, ooh. I have to say I do like these shorter guns. This is neat. They're in really good shape. These must be replicas. Oh. Apparently not. Look at this. Nice. They're in really amazing shape. 30 and 22. 30 and 22. Kind of neat. Kind of neat. Okay, here's the guard tower. Kind of see the arrangement. There's another guard tower, I guess. And this is the broom factory that you just saw. This is the prison. Here's from the outside. You can kind of see, I guess they could walk along the edges, and that one has the same thing there too. And then there's the period correct fire hydrant and that Ranger side by side or whatever it's called. And these very 1880s, the 1880s combs. But around the front here is kind of a neat view. The U.S. Marshal wagon, that's pretty cool, I think. I'll include a picture of my wife locked up in it. I don't know if you're supposed to go in it, but she did. But that's just kind of how Lori rolls. So, a horse-drawn paddy wagon. Oh, it's hot now. All black facility. It must be really warm in this thing. You can, and there's the front of the prison. It's kind of neat. So broomcorn, have no idea what that means. It's just what they're made of, I guess. And these things do something to them. Get rid of the seeds, I guess it says. And then soak and sort. Secure. Use the winder to tightly secure stalks around the wooden handle. And then to sew and shape. You could see all the different things we saw. And trim. Kerchunk. This is the broom factory that the inmates worked in. See some of the broom making materials. Clean sweep, I tell you. Here's the brooms. It's all kind of cool. Got the wire dispenser thingies here.
A lot of workstations. Here's another one.
Some other neat stuff. Broom nails. Ooh, they have different colors.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool. There's the coal. Ooh, this must be for fluffing or something, I don't know. Looks like you could take the feathers off a duck with this. It's all kind of cool. I want that wagon. Look at the wheels, they're all metal. Oh, there's the broom factory. Quick. Well, Jeff, I know that you really enjoy barbed wire. There's a whole room dedicated to the different types of barbed wire. And, ooh, some of these are pretty nasty. Look at that. That would hurt. Different types of fencing. Devil's rope, they called it. Devil's rope. Different fencing. I know you're a fence aficionado. That and fine wine. Nothing like fine barbed wire. Look at this barbed wire. Predecessor, ooh, that looks like shark teeth. Interesting. Well, fencing. Serious stuff. There's the stall. They even have it correct with poo-poos. Let's see. Interesting. So this is kind of what we're going to embark on here. There's the general store, the saloon, a bunch of little wagons. I think we can go up in them even, maybe. And a few other parts of the homestead over there. There's the church. So we're going to investigate these areas here. This is some kind of a neat room. Be awesome if this was a cabin we could go to hunt or fish. That would be awesome. I would love that. Maybe I'd get a better bed though. But I would totally keep that. This is probably the equivalent of a mansion out here, because there's a lot going on here. Yeah. Wow. I would love this place too as a second little home. Be cool to have that. This is pretty elaborate. Pretty cool. And they even have one of those. Wow, I don't think that's period. There's some, this is probably a outhouse of, probably. It's pretty fortified though. This must be a little pens where they kept hogs and little barns and little areas where they kept the hogs. Or milking cows, I'm not sure. It's kind of neat. Oh, the branding board. This is if you needed to keep track of whose cattle is who and what brands to use. I wonder if that's where our use of the word brand even comes from, like commercially, like Coca-Cola, that kind of thing. If the word, our use of brand goes back to this actual branding of cattle to mark your trade. Interesting. I hadn't thought of that before. Now I have some research to do. The general store, is this? Yeah, I think so.
Nosegay.
Looks pretty seedy if you ask me. Jeff, if you watch this whole thing, let me know if you caught that joke. We got hair tonic.
This is where I would work.
Ooh, you can have freckle cream. Get rid of your freckles. Freckle. That's a funny word. So is shackle. Freckle and shackle.
Take a picture of the screen, please.
This is a saloon. It looks a little underwhelming to me. But it's a little buck. I don't know if this was the bar, I guess. This must be the stage with the fancy performances.
Now this is an ugly baby.
An ugly baby. Let's see just how ugly is that baby. I don't know. Here is the church. You can kind of see where we are in proximity to the prison. Sorry about the wind noise. I'm pretty sure that is not period. They probably didn't have this in the original church. There we go. Hymns. Let's see. Ooh, the organ room. Please open your hymnals to page 58. And all said, say amen. There is all kinds of things. This is from the pulpit. You can see. Pretty cool. This is from some kind of a company. And here is, interesting. So did they just sit on a, ooh, it even has a stove in it. Crazy. There's the bed. Yeah. It's the camper. I wonder where they would sit. Would they just set up a chair right there, or when they would have this hooked up with the horses? I don't know. And then here's a stage. Oh, there's a little bench in the middle. There you go, here you go.
That was the first camper.
Yeah. It's kind of cool. As I fall, trip and fall. Can you imagine riding shotgun up there?
In the station wagon to ride backwards.
I don't know how well this is going to show
I
up.
didn't realize they had this style.
Yeah, these are different horse buggies, and you can't go on it though, Jeff. There's plow attachments. We're about ready to hit the area they call the ranch. So obviously I think they've branched off a bit from prisons and takes on a bit more of the old world Wisconsin flavor, which I actually quite like. Look at these wagons. Can you picture Half Pint and Charles driving in to see, going into town to Eli? Well, no, Eli isn't where they went. And the Olsons going to their store to buy some fixins and some fabric to make dresses. Here's their little garden plot. Not seeing any bugs on these. Would hope there were. I might have done some macro photography. Oh yeah, there's some. I like those bumblebees with the red butts. We have those out here. I don't remember ever seeing something like that in Wisconsin. Kind of a neat little bumbler. Ooh, rhubarb. Here's the antelope horns. The antlers. I think antelope have actual horns. That's not an antelope horn, that's a cattle horn probably. There's antelope. There we go. Cool. And we got some good ranchy stuff here. Oh, there's a bunny rabbit. Went and dove underneath the thing there. I'm gonna go back over here and see if I can. Ooh, that's a nice photo opportunity.